Mother's Day to all the moms out there and the single dads. 8:28. Let's go over to the NMI. Continue with our news. Tomas Manglona is standing by with the latest on COVID-19 in the Northern Marianas. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Chris. KOAM spoke with Saipan Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Maxime Laszlo and its President Velma Palacios on their reaction to the Governor's Fiscal Response Summit. Here's a clip after we asked them if they expect businesses to pack up and leave after COVID-19 hit the Mariana Islands. Take a listen.
But it just depends how these next few months go, and it won't just be businesses, it would be individuals as well. So we're fortunate that hopefully everyone will be able to get the pandemic unemployment assistance. But at the end of the day, if there aren't jobs here, if there aren't industries here, and we talked about this with the governor and the legislature in March, that we'll be afraid of a mass exodus. And so trying our best to get the economy going. If there are other types of tourism that I know that have been thrown out as of recent, that would be more safe, more isolated, things that weren't necessarily as widespread. That's been discussed as well. But right now, I think that we're still like in the thick of it and still looking forward of how do we start planning to come out of this.
But you're correct. Again, that's why I mentioned that a lot of business owners are, trying to make that decision whether to continue to remain, in business or to just try to stay in operations for this short time because, some of the business owners that I have spoken to, they are still in operations because they want to help out the community, like restaurants and all that. But they're still suffering a loss, but they feel that it's their responsibility to kind of also contribute to the community and also try to keep their employees, employed.
If you want to hear more from the Saipan Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Maxime Laszlo and President Velma Palacios, that 25-minute interview is now streaming on KOAM. They also mentioned that a group of businesses are putting together a gradual reopening plan that they will present to the governor in the coming weeks. Largely, stores and restaurants offering takeout are also operating within social distancing guidelines and waiting for more support from the government. We're hearing that the plan is tied to how many people go through community-based testing. And breaking overnight, the governor's COVID-19 task force here in the CNMI announced that community-based testing initiative will be temporarily suspended starting tomorrow, May 8th, through Sunday, May 10th, due to the high volume of testing. They also say that the temporary postponement is to allow time for timely results and their return, the timely return of the results. The task force will inform the public when the community-based testing initiative resumes as of May 7th. According to the press release, 2,336 individuals have been processed through 11 days of the CNMI community-based testing initiative. To date, this effort has identified one positive case. And after tensions mounted between the governor and the CNMI public school system, Secretary of Finance David Atalig announced on Thursday that $1.3 million has been transferred to the public school system here in the Northern Marianas on Wednesday to cover the last two pay periods. This comes after NMI Congressman Kilili urges governor to fully fund PSS. In a written statement, the CNMI Governor Ralph Torres said, while the disagreements with the Board of Education have been contentious about funding PSS at a time when our overall budget has drastically been hit, he says that he has always thought about the teachers. He says he never made the disagreements about teachers. He says that our viewers might recall as well that it was just a few weeks ago when Governor Torres pleaded for the three CNMI PSS board members to drop the injunction for the earmarked funds so he could pay the retirees' pension. In that same address a few weeks ago, he said, quote, "I apologize." Brian Chris will be speaking with the hospital lab director from Saipan, who validates every test here in the CNMI at 11 a.m. on KOAM's Facebook page. That's the latest here in the NMI.
All right. So I know we've been trying to get this interview ever since with the CNMI governor. What have we gotten any updates from Kevin Bautista on what's happening with that? Because it's been quite a long time since we've seen any kind of interaction with Governor Torres.
It has been. The latest we heard from the press secretary, Kevin Bautista, is that there is a tentative press briefing for Monday. A tentative press briefing for Monday is the latest we've heard. And, we were also told that we might have an interview on Thursday or today. Obviously, that's not happening, and we're not sure when the next time there's going to be a public forum. I think it is worth mentioning that, they have had some press gaggles in the field whenever they have some unveilings, but still.
Press gaggle? What'd you say?
Yeah, they've had some opportunities for press to kind of just follow the governor as he's on his way out at the event. So, though with social distancing, some are, like myself, speaking on my behalf, can't go because of that social distancing. So there hasn't been that online forum for all media to participate. So we're hearing right now that there's a tentative press briefing, but beyond that, it's really uncertain.
What's the deal, Tomas? Is it that the governor of the CNMI? I feel like he's just scared that someone's going to ask him about the FBI or the casino. Or not scared. I mean, he just doesn't want to deal with that. So.
Yeah, and I think I asked the press secretary, what is going on, and the response continues to be the governor is busy and that he wants to focus on his FEMA briefings. Now, I don't know how often he's in those briefings or if they last the entire day. Of course, KUAM on its end has offered this radio show, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and the one-on-one interview. But so far, the response is consistent that he is busy and wants to focus on briefings with FEMA.
All right.
No time, but he has time to speak on Facebook, where he doesn't have to answer any questions.
Yeah, and this is something that is shared by journalists on Saipan reporting for the local outlets as well, who say that they're also told, simply just wait for the press release. And Bria, I know we're going to be airing that story tonight, the scathing report from the U.S. Press Freedom Tracker on restrictions on the press for the CNMI and even Guam is mentioned.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an interesting report. I got a chance to read it. So I guess everybody else, it'll probably go online sometime today.
Yeah.
Before the 6 o'clock newscast.
Thank you so much, Tomas.
Thank you both. Have a good day.
All right, be safe.
Yeah, it's Tomas Manglona, of course, our man in the northern Marianas Islands.
Could you imagine though if the governor, Governor Leon Guerrero, didn't hold a press conference or any kind of briefing for over a month after, announcing the first positive, and then you just MIA the whole time. Well, not MIA, but not even talk to the people, except through Facebook and controlling the narrative.
And they do music videos.
Yeah.
Right. So if you watch these CNMI, what's his Facebook? It's off